Now on Coast TV News.
A gloomy, dreary Tuesday on tap, and the latest on Hurricane Erin as wave heights continue to grow.
Ocean City eyes Erin. As the hurricane heads north, how staffing is leading to concern for the Ocean City Beach Patrol.
Rocket waits after weather forces another delay at Wallops Island when the new launch window will open this week.
Baltimore ship blast. More drama near the Francis Scott Key Bridge, where the investigation stands from Maryland officials.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And it is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, a little bit of a wet start to our Tuesday morning as we continue to track a hurricane that, even though it should not hit our coast, it's still providing plenty of concern.
And a lot of those concerns are targeted at our beaches and the water in the ocean. And to go more in depth about all of that, we're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Lisa and Matt. Yeah, that's where the primary effects are going to be here over the next 3 days, the coast. Now, the scattered showers we're seeing right now across the area, not associated with Erin. This is all associated with a stalled out frontal boundary. So it's a damp, just kind of a dreary start to the day here on Delmarva, and we're seeing those scattered showers throughout the area. And those showers are going to continue to push to the south here over the next few hours. So it's going to be a rather damp, gloomy day. Temperatures are going to barely get out of the 70s. And there's that stalled out front. It's eventually going to lift to the north tomorrow, but you see the temperatures right now, 70 Rehoboth to 69 in Milton. Still rather gusty too along the coast. The gusting 30 miles an hour, Indian River Inlet to 24 in Ocean City. So not much in the way of sunshine today. Carbon copy of what we saw yesterday with highs barely getting out of the lower 70s. Now we have a newly issued tropical storm watch that just was in effect, and that goes into effect from Fenwick Island, Ocean City, down through Chickatee. We could be dealing with some tropical storm force winds as we go Wednesday night into Thursday. So there is that tropical storm watch from Fenwick Island all the way down Ocean City, Assateague through Chickatee. The latest on Hurricane Erin moving ever so slowly to the northwest at 7 miles an hour. Winds still sustained at 115, gusting upwards 140. Still a powerful Category 3 hurricane as this hurricane is going to continue to expand in size. We'll have the latest track and the latest on your forecast for today coming up.
All right, thanks, Chris. And as you just showed us, Hurricane Erin is getting closer to our coast, and we begin to see the impacts on Monday in Ocean City. This is video. You can see here the waves seem to be getting stronger. They crashed against the shore. The video was shared by the Ocean City Beach Patrol.
And with those conditions expected to get worse as Erin moves closer, we are getting new word from the Ocean City Beach Patrol. Staffing is down as some of their lifeguards have gone back to school. According to the Beach Patrol, their lifeguard stands are now getting further apart on the beach. And they are urging people to swim in front of those stands and not swim when lifeguards are off duty. Lifeguards end their day at 5:30.
And due to high winds and heavy surf conditions expected with Hurricane Erin, the Rehoboth Beach Patrol is posting a red flag advisory. That means conditions are in the high hazard category. The patrol says the heavy surf and increased riptides will likely continue to increase through Thursday. According to Dewey Beach officials, they are closing the water for swimming because of those conditions. And Erin is the first hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic season. Swells that it generated, it downed trees and caused flooding in several areas in Puerto Rico. Evacuations are underway in parts of the Outer Banks. And officials in New Jersey say water conditions there are already dangerous.
The cloudy weather on Delmarva is having an effect on a scheduled launch at Wallops Island. The Tomex Plus sounding rocket mission was set for Monday, then pushed to today, but now that window is Thursday. According to the NASA flight facility, the mission needs clear skies. The Tomex, or turbulent oxygen mixing experiment sounding rocket, will investigate one of Earth's atmospheric regions. The new launch window opens at 10 p.m. on August 21st. Maryland officials are continuing to investigate an apparent explosion aboard a commercial ship near the former Francis Scott Key Bridge site in Baltimore. As you can see from this video, smoke is rising in the distance from the vessel. Baltimore City fire officials say the blast happened on the W. Sapphire, a 751-foot ship carrying coal with a crew of 23 people. Thankfully, there are no reported injuries.
Delaware Governor Matt Meyer has lifted the state's drought watch nearly 10 months after it was first declared due to prolonged low precipitation. The decision follows a recommendation from the Water Supply Coordinating Council, which confirmed that rainfall, groundwater, and stream flow levels all returned to normal. Officials say recent months brought above average rainfall, especially in July, helping recharge water supplies and improve conditions for agriculture.
Happening today, Dunkin' Donuts is seeking final site plan approval for a drive-through store in Milton. On your screen right now is where the Dunkin' Donuts will be located. That is 403 Broadkill Road. The Planning and Zoning Commission is set to discuss this at its meeting tonight at 6:30. Dunkin' first made its pitch to the town in fall of 2024. The original plans call for over 2,800 square feet for the coffee chain restaurant.
We're going to stay in Milton for this next story. Calliope Project is asking to build an addition to the Milton Theater. The plans call for the consolidation of 2 parcels and the construction of a 2,800 square foot addition to the existing theater building. The project also calls for an adjacent paved area for access from Front Street Extended. A public hearing about these plans is scheduled for that Milton Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
A possible development in Milford on your screen right now is the area being proposed for a major subdivision. Carlisle Lane LLC is set to present plans for this in front of the Milford Planning Commission. According to the agenda, the project calls for 39 townhouses and 1 single-family home. The land is over 4.5 acres large. Documents state the current site use of the land is vacant aside from 2 single-family homes. Tonight's Milford Planning Commission meeting will take place at 6 o'clock. Also happening today, bringing up the hot button issue once again, Sussex County officials are set to discuss reassessment legislation at the council meeting this morning. This comes exactly 1 week after the special Delaware General Assembly session on the issue. A number of bills were signed that day that, according to Governor Meyer, creates fairer tax rates, gives homeowners flexible payment plans, and provides refunds to people who overpaid. Sussex County officials will gather at 10 a.m.
We have an update on a story that we brought to you on Monday. The Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission made no decision on a fence at Canal Front Park. The playground was reopened this spring with accessibility upgrades. Now, some parents are asking the city of Lewis for more. Chauvin Park started a petition asking for the installation of a fence. That petition has more than 200 signatures. Park says she worries about the risk of drowning, proximity to water, and says a fence is an added layer of security.
In no way does a fence replace parental supervision. I think anyone who has been to the playground with several children can attest, like I said, to how quickly toddlers can be. This is not a replacement, it's an added layer of protection.
And according to Park, the commission questioned the need for the fence, and she says they are considering bringing up the issue at the next meeting in September. This does bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what's most important in a playground near water.
And so far, about 69% of voters say parental supervision, 25% safety barriers, and then in a tie, it's easy access at 2%, kid freedom at 2%, and natural views also at 2%. And we also have a comment from Dorothy in Ellendale who says, quote, "You wouldn't have a pool without a fence, so a playground near a canal needs to be fenced also," end quote. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at CoastTV.com or over on our mobile app. Funeral services for former Delaware Governor and Congressman Mike Castle are happening this week. A visitation for Mike Castle will be held at the Chandler Funeral Home in Wilmington from 5 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, with overflow parking available at St. Mary Magdalene Roman Catholic Church on Sharpley Road. A funeral mass for Castle will be at St. Joseph on Brandywine Church at 10:30 a.m. Friday, and a celebration of life will follow at the Wilmington Country Club. And for more on Castle's legacy and funeral arrangements, you can check out the article on CoastTV.com.
And we're now taking a live look at the White House. It is there. You can see maybe a couple lights on the lower central part of your screen. As President Trump continues his efforts to end Russia's war against Ukraine, his administration is pondering its next steps. And on Monday, several top European leaders joined Ukraine's president at the White House to urge President Trump to push Russian President Vladimir Putin for a ceasefire. NBC's Alice Barr shows us the conversation as President Trump pledged a lot of help for the war-torn ally.
After a warm meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky.
It's an honor
to have the president of Ukraine with us.
Thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war.
And a striking gathering of European powers flexing their collective muscle in Ukraine's defense.
We want a robust and long-standing peace.
President Trump posting that he called Russian President Putin and has begun arrangements for a long-sought meeting between Putin and Zelensky. President Trump caught on a hot mic telling the French president he thinks Putin wants to make a deal for him.
I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand that, as crazy as it sounds.
President Zelensky sharing a battlefield map, pressing to ensure any peace deal protects Ukraine's territory and includes guarantees against future Russian attacks.
What security guarantees do you need from President Trump to be able to make a deal? Is it American troops, intelligence, equipment? What is it?
Everything.
President Trump saying Putin agreed to allow security guarantees, the president not ruling out that U.S. troops could join Europeans in a peacekeeping force.
When it comes to security, there's going to be a lot of help.
European allies praising the push for peace while pressing for an immediate ceasefire, something President Trump has backed off of after his Alaska summit with Putin, now arguing negotiations toward a broad peace deal can continue while the fighting rages on. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And we're just getting started this morning on CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, bikes on boardwalks stalled. We'll tell you where Ocean City officials stand in adding more time to their rules.
Also pressing school policy in Milford. We'll detail the debate ahead of the start of the new school year.
And massive investment into Intel. What this means for the chip maker and how the White House could have made a similar move. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
All rise and shine, Delmarva, on this Tuesday morning in Salisbury. Not much in the way of shine today. We're at 69 degrees right now. We're going to see a lot of clouds. We're dealing with some slick conditions out there with scattered showers across the area. Some moderate rainfall extending from Long Neck down through Ocean View. Not all that heavy, not dealing with any thunder. This is all associated with the stalled out front, but we're going to be dealing with the scattered showers and drizzle throughout the morning and afternoon. We're at 70 in Rehoboth, 69 in Milton, and 67 in Bridgeville. Quite gusty at the coast. Now, this is not even associated with Erin. This is all associated with the strong northeast flow. So a lot of clouds today, scattered showers. Keep the umbrella handy. Temperatures barely getting into the mid-70s this afternoon. I think these temperatures are a little generous. They're going to be more in the lower 70s through the afternoon today. I'll have the latest on Hurricane Erin and what it will mean for Delmarva coming up in that full 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. According to the City of Rehoboth Beach, routine maintenance will take place at the Rehoboth Avenue drawbridge today. The city says there will be openings between 10:30 and 11 a.m.
A heads up for drivers in Milford. DelDOT will begin painting Route 1 bridges between Cedar Beach Road and Northeast Front Street on Friday. On your screen, we are showing you a map of the area. The purpose of the project is to clean and paint the structural steel and concrete. DelDOT says work should wrap up in the fall. Drivers can expect lane closures Monday through Friday from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m.
The Federal Trade Commission has filed a lawsuit against an online ticket broker. It accuses Key Investment Group and its affiliated companies of using illegal tactics to bypass ticket buying limits. It claims they bought nearly 400,000 tickets in just over a year, then often resold them with big markups. The FTC complaint was filed in federal court in Maryland. Key Investment Group has not publicly commented on this lawsuit.
Japan's SoftBank is investing $2 billion into struggling American chipmaker Intel. The company says SoftBank will pay $23 per share of Intel common stock. And this comes just days after reports that the White House discussed taking a stake in Intel worth about $10 billion. According to industry experts, Intel has struggled recently after failing to adapt to technology advances.
They want to keep the umbrella and the raincoat handy today. Rain won't be all that heavy, but kind of more of a nuisance variety throughout the morning. 70 degrees through your sunrise at 6:19 a.m. Not much in the way of sun. We'll have the latest on Hurricane Erin. We have tropical storm watches up for parts of the peninsula. I'll break it down that full 7-day forecast when CoastTV News Today continues.
Time is 5:18, and we're getting a live look at one of those areas that is under that tropical storm watch. We can see some of the wind there in Ocean City. And Chris is in for Bob this morning. And Chris, we're looking at another day with rain in play.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be kind of a carbon copy of what we saw yesterday. A lot of low clouds, scattered showers and drizzle. So it's a rainy start to the day along Coastal Highway, making your way up there. If you're making your way up through anywhere, you're going to be dealing with scattered showers. Not all that heavy. It's more of the nuisance variety, not dealing with any thunder. And this is all associated with a slow-out front just to our south. This front's eventually going to lift to the north tomorrow. And this front back off to the west, that is actually going to help kick Erin further out to sea as we go into Thursday. We're at 70 in Rehoboth Beach, 68 in Milton, and 68 in Laurel. Wind not much of a factor west of Coastal Highway. You get into Rehoboth, Dewey, and you're dealing with winds gusting 20 to 30 miles an hour. Now, we have high surf advisories that were just issued for the entire Delmarva coastline. These are up through Friday, so not much in the way of swimming. Seas are only going to be getting worse from here on out as far as the wave heights. And then that newly issued tropical storm watch, Fenwick Island, Ocean City, Astig, all the way down through Chickateague. This is primarily for tomorrow evening through Thursday evening, where we could be dealing with those tropical storm force winds. Today, though, not much in the way of sunshine, highs in the lower 70s with scattered showers and some brief downpours at times, but I think it's going to be generally more light, scattered downpours and drizzle. As we go into tonight, mostly cloudy, some fog, patchy drizzle, and then as we go into tomorrow, I think we'll see some breaks in the clouds. Warmer, we're in the lower 80s as that front lifts to the north with an isolated shower chance. And then here comes the outer bands, the clouds from Erin. I do think the precipitation is going to stay off the coast, but we are going to be dealing with a lot of wind and a lot of wave actions we've been advertising here. And then as we go into Thursday, there you see those tropical storm force winds gusting upwards of 47, 46 miles an hour as we go into Thursday evening, and then those winds should die down as we go into Friday. There's Hurricane Erin just to the east of the Bahamas, 150 mile an hour, gust 140, moving slowly to the northwest at 7 miles an hour, will become a Category 2, but the thing is, the storm's going to expand, double in size. So not going to get exactly stronger, but just kind of wider, so that wind field's going to expand. And there you see the wave action today, 4 to 8 foot waves. By tomorrow, we're at 5 to 10 foot, and then peaking as we go into Thursday with waves as high as 12 to 13 feet crashing the coast. And there you see from Ocean City through Assateague Island, some tremendously high swells as we go into the day on Thursday. So there's the setup as we go into through Friday. Dreary, damp today. We're at scattered showers, then 68 overnight, and then 82 for our Wednesday. And we are looking at a beautiful Friday. Sunny skies, 79 on the weekend. Looking pretty nice with a chance of a shower late Sunday.
All right, thanks, Chris. School policy was once again a key issue at Monday night's Milford School Board meeting. There's been an ongoing battle there within the district surrounding subjects like religion and sexual expression. One board policy that was debated states that students have the responsibility to study multiple sides of an issue, and this has caused some pushback from parents in the community. According to the Milford School District, students return to the classroom on September 2nd.
Up next on Coast TV News today, bikes on the boardwalk stalled. We'll tell you about a possible amendment discussed regarding adding more time for riders. Don't go anywhere. On Monday night, the Ocean City Council considered increasing the times bikes are allowed on the boardwalk. During that discussion, an amendment to add skateboards to proposed change was discussed as well. As of right now, bikes can ride between the hours of 2 a.m. and 11 a.m. The proposed change would increase the hours from midnight to noon. One bike store owner in town thinks that this will increase safety for people riding back home from work.
I think it's a good idea to keep the ones on scooters and bicycles out of the streets that don't get run over on the way home.
And Ocean City Mayor Rick Meehan expressed opposition over adding skateboards to the proposed changes, citing enforcement concerns. Well, if you're planning on going to the beach today, staying in the sand or enjoying the shops and the restaurants is probably your best bet.
Yeah, I think you got some good advice there, Elise. So we know Dewey Beach is reporting no swimming allowed. Others, Chris, are operating under hazardous conditions.
Yeah, I would err on the side of caution and maybe go with Elisa's advice there and stay in the shops, especially over the next 2 days, because it's only going to be getting worse, especially as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. We're seeing scattered showers out there this morning. 72 right now in Ocean City. Winds out of the east, 15 miles an hour. Not a good beach day regardless. We're going to have plenty of clouds and scattered showers and drizzle. Notice those wave heights, 4 to 7 feet. So dangerous rip currents and surf. And you'll see those temperatures barely get into the mid 70s by this afternoon. And you see Cambridge 70 by around 7, lower 70s with scattered showers. Chrisfield 74, and then there's the impacts as we go really Wednesday night into Thursday evening. Swells as high as 8 to 13 feet. The highest are going to be Thursday. And then we have those tropical storm force winds primarily along the coast, and then tidal flooding and beach erosion. The center is going to be 400 to 500 miles off our coast. You get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert Weather Phone, sponsored by Broxton, Mandalas, and Federico. We'll have a look at that 7-day forecast in the next half hour.
And after the break on Coast TV News today, ceasefire conversations will show you what Ukrainian president says he needs from Trump to help with the war against Russia.
Also, decision to delay launch when NASA officials say crews know what the next blast-off opportunity is after weather conditions push back the original plans.
And Hurricane Aaron's impacts on Delmarva will tell you how several coastal communities are taking steps to keep locals and visitors safe. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
A gloomy, dreary Tuesday on tap, and the latest on Hurricane Aaron as wave heights continue to grow.
Aaron reaction. How the lifeguards at our beaches are preparing for the rough water this week caused by the hurricane.
Wallops watching weather, the delay in the sounding rocket mission, and when we are expecting the next launch window to open.
Milton Duncan decision. What are the next steps in the coffee chain's efforts of setting up shop near the banks of the Broadkill?
This is Coast TV News Today.
August 19th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
It's 5:30 a.m. We know it's raining in Milton because we can hear it hitting our roof.
Yeah, I don't think it's loud enough that you could hear it over our mics. That has happened before in the past.
It has happened, yeah.
But it is a gloomy, rainy Tuesday morning, and we're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. Chris, there's a lot of weather going on.
Yes, there is. And this rain we're seeing is not associated with Aaron. This is associated with a stalled out front. Yeah, kind of a gross start to our Tuesday out there. We're seeing some light rain from Georgetown and Milford. Then we're seeing another area from Long Neck down through Ocean View, and there's scattered showers and drizzle extending from Chrisfield to Salisbury into Accomack County. And it's all thanks to, we have a stalled out front, and there's like a little area of low pressure along Norfolk, and that's kind of pulling in some moisture off the Atlantic. So we have a lot going on there. As far as temperatures go, it's cool out there. 70 in Rehoboth. We're at 68 Redden, 67 in Harrington. And winds, well, not much of an issue as you go west of Coastal Highway. As we deal along the coast, we're seeing 31-mile-an-hour winds in Indian River Inlet. Not much in the way of sunshine. Temperatures are going to maybe rise a couple degrees here throughout the afternoon. Lower 70s with scattered showers. Breezy day, especially along the coast, with winds as high as 20 to 25 miles an hour. Waves are going to continue to increase 4 to 7 feet today. By tomorrow into Thursday, they're really going to begin to peak 8 to 13 foot waves as gusts along the coast will rise as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour. We do have tropical storm watches now into effect from Fenwick Island, Ocean City down through Assateague, and this is primarily for tomorrow evening through Thursday evening where we'll begin to see those tropical storm gusts. Hurricane Aaron still east of the Bahamas, moving northwest at 7 miles an hour, still a powerful Category 3 hurricane with gusts as high as 140 miles an hour. As the system lifts to the north, it's going to continue to expand, so the wind field is going to be expanding as it pushes to the north. We'll have the latest track and talk about when we'll see some sunshine return to our area coming up in that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And due to the high winds and heavy surf conditions expected with Hurricane Aaron, the Rehoboth Beach Patrol is under a red flag advisory. This means high hazard. Officials say the heavy surf and increased rip tides will likely continue to increase through Thursday. According to the town of Dewey Beach, they are closing the waters to the beachgoers.
And with those conditions expected to get worse as Aaron moves closer, we're getting new word from the Ocean City Beach Patrol. Staffing is down as some of their lifeguards have gone back to school. And according to the patrol, their lifeguard stands are now getting further apart on the beach. They're urging people to swim in front of those stands and to not swim when lifeguards are off duty. The lifeguards conclude their day at 5:30 p.m.
Hurricane Aaron is off the southeastern coast today and could swipe past the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Some people there face mandatory evacuations and a tropical storm watch.
Yeah, Amy Kiley has the latest on the Category 3 storm and how other states along the Atlantic coast are preparing.
It's going to be a problem.
Some areas along the East Coast are bracing for Hurricane Aaron. Today, forecasters predict it'll stay offshore. Tomorrow, towering waves and local flooding could impact North Carolina. Evacuations are underway in parts of the Outer Banks.
We know the drill, and probably better to be safe than sorry.
Dare County is in the hurricane's crosshairs, and it's under a state of emergency. Officials say some beach houses there are at risk.
We needed to get the visitors and get our public out of there before those events occurred.
County officials say this evening's high tide could impede travel along the main highway of the island chain. They say hurricane waves could be worse.
The water doesn't roll back. It's going to push up into our communities and up onto our infrastructure, our highways, our roads.
Officials say that could cut off people later if they don't evacuate now.
If you take out pavement, breach the road anywhere along Highway 12, then anything to the south of that breach you can't access.
A high risk of rip currents will continue up the Atlantic seaboard through Thursday. Parts of Maryland could see 11-foot waves. Officials in New Jersey say water conditions there are dangerous already.
We have a rip current warning, we have rough surf warning, we have storm warning, and conditions are bad.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Cloudy weather on Delmarva is having an effect on a scheduled launch at Wallops Island. The Atomics Plus sounding rocket mission that was set for Monday, then pushed to today. Now the window is Thursday. According to the NASA flight facility, the mission needs clear skies, and the Atomics, or Turbulent Oxygen Mixing Experiment sounding rocket, will investigate one of Earth's atmospheric regions. The new launch window opens at 10 p.m. on August 21st.
Happening today, Calliope Project is asking to build an addition to the Milton Theater. The plans call for the consolidation of 2 parcels and the construction of a 2,800 square foot addition to the existing theater building. The project also calls for an adjacent paved area for access from Front Street Extended. A public hearing about these plans is scheduled for the Milton Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
Now we're going to stay in Milton for this next story here. Dunkin' Donuts is seeking final site plan approval for a drive-through store. On your screen is a location of the proposed new Dunkin' Donuts. This is at 403 Broadkill Road. The Planning and Zoning Commission is set to discuss this at its meeting tonight at 6:30. Dunkin' first made its pitch to the town in the fall of 2024. The original plans call for over 2,800 square feet for the coffee chain restaurant.
We are now taking a live look at the White House. It was less than 24 hours ago that President Trump, Ukrainian President Zelensky, and several European leaders gathered right there to discuss a path for ending the war with Russia. Monday's showing is a sign both of progress and of possible distress coming out of Friday's summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. As Europe's leaders descended on Washington with the explicit goal of protecting Ukraine's interests, there was a rare and sweeping show of diplomatic force. President Trump is pressing for a quick end to Europe's deadliest war in 80 years, and Ukraine and its allies worry he could seek to force an agreement on Russia's terms after the president rolled out the red carpet for Putin in Alaska last week.
What guarantees do you need from President Trump to be able to make a deal? Is it American troops, intelligence, equipment? What is it?
Everything.
President Trump saying Putin agreed to allow security guarantees. The president not ruling out that U.S. troops could join Europeans in peacekeeping force.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, getting some bang for your blood donation. We'll tell you about the annual event hosted by the Blood Bank of Delmarva that aims to make giving blood a little more fun.
Also, the Phillies begin their battle against the Mariners. We had the big flies at the park last night that led to a win.
In review of New Road, we'll tell you how DelDOT is giving locals the chance to experience a new major roadway before it opens. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. Seeing those wet roads in Salisbury. We're dealing with some scattered showers. A lot of low clouds out there this morning. Temperature right now 69 degrees. Winds out of the northeast at about 7 miles an hour. So we're going to be in and out of the showers here through the morning rush with temperatures hovering right around 70 degrees. You can see those scattered showers through Georgetown, Milton, up all the way down Coastal Highway through Fenwick and Ocean City. Spotty in nature, all thanks to this stalled out front that's over the area. We're at 69 in Long Neck, 71 in Bethany Beach, 69 Willards, and 67 in Harrington. Pretty gusty at the coast. Seeing gusts up to 30 in Indian River Inlet, to 23 Ocean City, 23 in Bethany Beach. So it's going to be a cool, dreary Tuesday with scattered showers, barely getting out of the mid-70s. And then Erin's impacts, those waves are going to be continuing to grow here over the next 3 days. Gusty at the coast with tidal flooding, and we have that newly issued tropical storm watch. That goes into effect tomorrow evening through Thursday evening. So a lot of rain, a lot of scattered showers today with a lot of cloud cover. Temperatures around 71 along the coast, generally in the lower 70s throughout the area today as we continue to see those below average temperatures. We'll have a look at that 7-day forecast here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. Delta is hosting a 5K run and walk on the new North Millsboro bypass. The department says the 5K will be an opportunity for the community to see the new road before it opens to vehicle traffic. All proceeds raised from the event benefit the Andrew B. McDonough Foundation. That 5K is set for Saturday, September 13th. Registration is open through DelDOT's website.
Happening today, Delaware's Division of Public Health is bringing health care right to your neighborhood through its Community Health Services mobile unit. Families can access free services including HIV testing, COVID-19 tests and vaccines, flu shots, diabetes and cholesterol screenings, blood pressure checks, and more. No appointment is needed. Insurance is accepted but not required, and the mobile unit will travel to various locations across Sussex County. And for a full list of dates and times where the unit will be located in Sussex County this week, you can head on over to CoastTV.com.
When driving, it sometimes feels like pedestrians come out of nowhere. DelDOT has a friendly reminder to ensure their safety as well as yours. When approaching a bus stop, for instance, watch carefully for riders getting off and crossing the street. They may be hidden from your line of view. Also be patient. You may be in a rush, but it's important always to watch for pedestrians crossing the street.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
The Phillies split a series with the Nationals over the weekend, and the theme in those games was plenty of offense. Let's see if that carried into Philadelphia, Seattle, who played last night. Now, in the first inning of this one, Ranger Suarez settled in early for the Phillies, struck out Kyle Rowley in the first inning. In the second inning, picked up even more strikeouts, one after another, ended up matching a career high with 10 Ks. Now let's move on into the bottom of the second. It's already 2-0, and it's going to be more because Trey Turner crushes a 3-run shot, his 13th homer of the season, 1,500th career hit. His team up 5-0, eventually 6-0, and Bryce Harper wants even more. He gets a solo shot, his 20th homer of the season. The Phillies are cruising up 7-0, but the Mariners tack on 1 run. How about 2 more? Cole Young with a deep shot, a 3-run homer of his own. All of a sudden, just a 3-run game. This thing far from over. But the Phillies tack on another run. Then Kyle Schwarber lines one up the middle for a hit, picks up his 103rd RBI of the season, passing Raleigh for the league lead, and the Phillies just keep scoring runs. Bryce Harper with a huge home run, second of the game, and in the end, the Phillies win 12-7. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 7, we have live Shorebirds baseball as they take on the Kannapolis Cannonballers. And at 10:30, it is the final score.
Fans of 80s nostalgia have a lot to look forward to in horror movies to get a new 4-legged star. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Being bad feels pretty good.
The Breakfast Club is back for another session of detention. The beloved teen movie returns to theaters for its 40th anniversary. The Brat Pack classic can be seen on big screens across the U.S. September 7th and 10th.
Now, relive the magic like never before.
Experience Dirty Dancing in a new way. The 80s film is now touring as a live experience, including a band and vocalists performing songs from the popular soundtrack. Dirty Dancing in Concert will visit more than 100 cities across North America and Europe in 2026. Horror has a new canine star. This is your first look at Good Boy, a thriller following a dog who experiences a slew of haunting events at a creepy old house. The spooky flick arrives in theaters October 3rd. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, you may want to go with the hot coffee, not the cold this morning with the cool temperatures and the scattered showers. Only 73 is what we're going to do today on Delmarva. We will talk about the latest on the tropical storm watch for parts of the area. And the latest on Hurricane Erin coming up in that full 7-day forecast.
The time is now 5:48 and we are taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. And Chris, I was not expecting to see a beautiful sunrise on this camera. Instead, we have very gloomy skies and wet looking roads.
Yeah, take it easy out there. We're dealing with some light to moderate rainfall over the area. Not much sunshine today, unfortunately. We're going to be dealing with the scattered showers and clouds today. You can see scattered rainfall throughout much of Sussex County, extending into Salisbury, Princess Anne, and into Ocean City. Not all that heavy. You've seen a little heavier cell there into Accomack County, and this front has stalled out to our south. We have a little area of low pressure there along the Virginia coast, and that's kind of kicking up moisture off the coast here. Front back off to the west, that's going to help kick Erin further out to sea later this week. We're at 71 Bethany Beach, 68 in Millsboro, and we're at 68 in Milton. Winds pretty gusty at the coast, anywhere from 25 to 30 miles an hour, 30 mile an hour there, Indian River Inlet. And we have high surf advisories up for the entire Delaware coast. This is through Friday. The surf is only going to be getting higher here, folks, from today through Friday. And that high surf advisory continues all the way down through Chincoteague. Now, we do have that newly issued tropical storm watch from Fenwick Island, Ocean City, Astig, all the way down to Chincoteague. That kicks into effect tomorrow evening through Thursday evening. That's when we can expect to see those tropical storm force winds. Today, though, 73 Georgetown with spotty showers, 75 Cambridge, maybe we get to 75. 75 in Pocomoke City. I think will be 2 to 3 degrees lower than that. Scattered showers throughout the morning and afternoon. Moderate at times, not expecting any thunder, but notice that east wind continues. Tonight will be mostly cloudy, damp with some drizzle and fog. I think we're warmer into Wednesday, near 83 Georgetown as the front lifts northward. Some breaks in the clouds with an isolated shower or rumble of thunder as we get in the afternoon. And then there's the clouds from Erin, the outer bands beginning to push into the area. Winds today gusting 25, 30 at the coast. And then by Thursday, that is when we expect the peak wind gusts out of the northeast, anywhere from 40 to 47 miles an hour, especially along the coast as we go into Thursday evening, and then those winds will begin to subside through Friday. The latest on Erin, a Category 3 hurricane, 150 mile an hour sustained winds, gusts to 140, moving slowly to the north, and as it does so, the wind field is going to expand. You can see by Thursday that storm, the center, is going to be about 400 to 500 miles to our east, but with that expanding of the wind field, that's going to allow for some strong wave action. Waves upwards of 5 to 8 feet by Wednesday, peaking Thursday upwards of 13 feet. And then we're still going to be dealing with some high wave action as we go into Friday as well. And then there, as we see from Ocean City, look at those wave heights as we go into Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, as high as 12 to 13 feet. So that's what we could expect, swells 8 to 13 feet. The tropical storm force winds really develop Wednesday night through Thursday night with tidal flooding and beach erosion. We're at 73 today, a dreary day, 68 overnight under mostly cloudy skies. We're at 82, mostly cloudy, isolated shower Wednesday. Friday looking really nice, near 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies.
Thank you, Chris. A pastor detained by ICE is now reunited with his family. Daniel Fuentes Espinal returned home to Easton last week. He was released on a bond from a detention center in Louisiana. Fuentes Espinal was detained late last month. He had no criminal record, but overstayed his visa by roughly 25 years and was in the U.S. illegally. A close family friend tells us the past few weeks were heartbreaking.
He is a pillar of our community, and he is just one of those people that so often form really the heart and soul of small, close-knit communities like Easton.
Foxwell says Fuentes Espinal, after all those years of illegal status, is now attempting to become a legal citizen of the United States.
The Blood Bank of Delmarva is celebrating their 5th annual Blood for a Brew campaign, calling this a critical time for the community's blood supply. All summer long, blood drives will take place at breweries and coffee shops across the region. The next upcoming blood drive is at Ocean View Brewing Company today from noon to 5 p.m.
The Blood Bank of Delmarva is also open for donations at several locations. According to the organization's website, the Dagsboro site opened today from 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Wicomico County Health Department says the Salisbury location is open today at the same time. In Dover, the Blood Bank of Delmarva confirms it will operate today from noon to 7 p.m.
The time is now 5:53, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day loves visiting Delmarva.
Aww.
On your screen, that is Tess. Tess loves all the time she gets to spend in Millville, and Tess likes taking long walks and playing with her cousins, and Tess was submitted to us by her family in Millville.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
That's where the QR code is. Scan that, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 5:56, and we are going to take another look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, Chris, Aaron has our attention in what the remnants of it can do to our coast.
Yeah, you know, those wave heights are only going to continue to increase, expecting 4 to 8 foot swells today. By Thursday, we could peak at 13 feet. Now today, a lot of clouds, a lot of scattered showers and drizzle. Temperatures barely getting into the lower to mid 70s this afternoon with that persistent east wind at about 20 miles an hour. Dangerous rip currents really through Friday. We'll see some sun tomorrow with a scattered shower, isolated shower Thursday. Friday looks gorgeous, mostly sunny skies, and even the weekend looking pretty nice with temperatures in the lower 80s.
All right, thank you, Chris. And coming up in our next hour, waves worry, how our lifeguards are preparing for potential rip currents generated by Hurricane Erin. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.